That's AB. Adrian the Problem Broner, 28-1 with 22 knockouts. Only defeat against Marcos El Chino Rene Maidana, who is now 2 fights with Floyd Money Mayweather, won the loss. Right now it's August 24th, August the 14th, 2014. It's T Street Controversy, T Street Controversy Live. I'm going to talk about some boxing. Listen, later on in this video, you're probably going to say, this guy, who is he? What has he ever done? Because what I'm going to tell you is, I'm an Adrian Broner fan, but boxing fans look at Adrian Broner as being a clown and a dickhead. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's that person, you know, when he's not being the clown and the dickhead he portrays himself to be on Showtime or on, you know, any public appearances. You know, it's clownish behavior, but yet the guy is good, he's charismatic, and he puts people in seats. The guy sells fights. You can't take that away from him. Adrian Broner sells fights. Let's talk about his opponent. Emmanuel Transformer is trans with a Z. Former. Not former, former. Taylor, 18-2. And I forgot how many knockouts he got. Forgive me, I put it right below. But this guy, Emmanuel Taylor literally made for Adrian Broner. Why? Because he is slow. You talk about a slow 140-pounder. This guy is slow. I'm not taking nothing away from him, but Adrian Broner has problems with ring generalship, and I always have a problem saying that word, and foot movement, to the point where he uses the shoulder roll, but he's always open for the left hook because he doesn't use his feet along with the shoulder roll or upper body movement. He's stiff. So you get a guy like Carlos Molina, and no, not that Molina, the guy he fought on the Mayweather undercard in May, landing left hooks on him, and you thinking, well, what if this guy had a little bit more punching power? And that Carlos Molina is a relatively small fighter. You know, he had one fight, which was his first fight at 140 pounds, if I'm correct, against Amir Khan. And then, you know, he fights Adrian Broner after being off for since the last Amir Khan fight. I believe it was like a year or over a year, but whatever the case may be. Adrian Broner is in a rebuilding process right now. I think that when Andre Berto went what he went through with Victor Ortiz and then Robert Guerrero and then Soto Carras, Al Haymon said, I'm never letting no shit like that happen again. So when it comes to Adrian Broner, of course we want to see Adrian Broner versus Lucas Martin Matisse. Of course we want to see Adrian Broner versus Danny Garcia. Of course we want to see Adrian Broner versus Lamont Peterson. We want to see all these fights, but will we get them? No. Why? We would love to see Dana. We would love to see Adrian Broner versus Mauricio Herrera. We would love to see it, but will we get it? No. You know why? Because that's why you got to learn your boxing politics. That's why you got to learn why certain fights don't happen. And that's why you got to learn why they mention guys like Juan Manuel Marquez, Manny Pacquiao, or Ruslan Provodnikov for Chris Algieri. You got to learn that stuff before you go on. So, for all you who don't know, I'm going to say I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. I cover boxing whenever I feel like it. Whenever I feel like talking about some boxing, that's what I do. So, I just got finished watching the press conference, the first initial press conference of Adrian Broner versus Emmanuel Transformer Taylor is taking place in Cincinnati. You got Eric Gomez doing duty. Eric Gomez is the vice president of Golden Boy Promotions. He's got kind of a I forgot what they call it. I stopped working for people, so I forgot what they call it. Oh, promotion. He's got a promotion. So what was going on right now on August the 14th, 2014, you got 2 Golden Boy promotion fights doing 2 different things. So, for example, in California, you got the final press conference for Sean Porter versus Kell Brooks, Saki Obika versus Anthony Durrell, and Deontay Wilder versus Jason Gavin, and Omar Figueroa versus something Estrada, I forgot. But over in Cincinnati, you have them kicking off, you know, the first press conference announcement for Adrian Broner versus Emmanuel Taylor. Lucas Matisse, who was not in the building. Lucas Matisse versus, if I'm correct, Roberto Ortiz. and then the return of Andre Berto. Now the fight is on August the 6th. This video is on August the 14th. So you got to ask yourself. No, the fight is on September the 6th. This video is on August the 14th. I'm a little tired. It's early. My sleeping pattern's right. But what I'm trying to get to, ladies and gentlemen, is why do you think Lucas Matisse or Matisse wasn't in the building? Now, of course we know the fight is in September. He doesn't have to be here. He's over in Argentina. But this is another Golden Boy Al Haymon card where you got two 140 pounders not fighting each other. 240 pounders that fans want to see. But see, now we're understanding because we know or we've been conditioned to think like, oh yeah, they're not putting him in there with Matisse. As soon as we heard that Adrian Broner and Matisse was going to be fighting on September the 6th or whatever date it was, you know, when they first released the news, I did the video on the other channel. We knew in our heads that they wasn't going to make that fight. So, for example, I use this example a lot. When it came to the Mayweather Maidana first card, you had Amir Khan and Adrian Broner on the same card. And it was announced it was on the same card, so we got all hype and assuming they was going to fight each other. They didn't. The April 26th card, you get Lucas Matisse and Keith Thurman, who can fight both at 147 on the same card. We don't get it. Most recently, we get Danny Garcia versus Salka and Lamont Peterson versus Edgar Santana on the same card. Now, September the 6th, you got the same, a similar situation where you got two 140 pounders. Once again, you got Adrian Broner and Lucas Matisse fighting separate opposition on the same card. So you ask yourself the question of like what is the plan? You know, is there some scheme we're missing, or is there something, you know, that's just going to pay off for the boxing fans in the next year or in the next 2 years? Like, what is the grand scheme of Al Haymon's plan with these fighters? Now, we know, for example, at the press conference, Mike Stafford said himself that, you know, boxing is a business right now. As a matter of fact, I'm going to play some audio from the press conference. And then also I'm going to play the Showtime interview with Brian Kinney and Adrian Broner. But just listen, hang in there. T-Street Controversy, subscribe. Let me see, let me find this. Emmanuel Chella has 12 knockouts, by the way. And if you want to know, basically, his last fight he beat Kareem Mayfield. Kareem Mayfield is like a poor man's Sean Porter-ish type fighter. Hold on, I'm getting it. Hold on. All right. You know, think Chris Algieri. You know Chris Algieri.
All the interviews and everybody put me through a lot of stuff. You know, to send me out there. So, you know, I stress it.
Hold on, I'm trying to find the part.
He said, it's done. So here we is today, with Golden Boy, and Al Haymon, and Andrew Williams, on promotion. You know, Showtime. You know, it's on. It's on. So, like Eric said, the undercard, don't get to the cutout for Asian. You know, we got guys up there in camp now, you know, he's waiting to come down, you know, that's all they're thinking about is Cincinnati, you know, so it's going to be a real great show, and I appreciate Golden Boy, you know, you guys putting this, you know, I appreciate it really, you know, these kids are training hard, you know. And you guys out here, you know, it's not on the card. It's going to be your time.
We're going to listen to the Adrian Broner interview. I should have had the time right when he was going to say what I wanted him to say before I even did the video. But that's the whole point.
Showing just right now.
But listen,
looking bright.
Fresh, flash, yes.
You look very sharp. Yes, very good. Adrian, your first fight back since the loss to Maidana against Carlos Molina. How did you feel? What do you think?
I felt great. I went in untouched and came out untouched, and I partied with my family and kissed my babies, and now we're on to the next one.
What did you want to accomplish in that fight? What was important to you?
It was getting neck on to the next fight. That's all I was doing, and I did that, and I was successful, and now it's on to another one.
You felt sharp?
Oh, of course, but you know, I had some ring rust, but we're back in effect.
All right, fighting in Cincinnati, what does that mean to you? You haven't been fighting at your home in about, what, 2 years, right?
It means a lot, man. You know, the home crowd, man, it's electrifying. They love me there, and every time I fight at home, I get a stoppage. So, cause I'm coming home, and I'm gonna keep that remedy going.
What do you think of Emmanuel Taylor, guy you're gonna be fighting?
Hell of a fighter. Just came off one of his biggest wins. It was a hell of a win. I didn't see the fight, but the guy that he beat is a tough opponent.
You didn't see the fight?
Oh, no.
You're going to see the fight eventually, right? You got scouting? What are you doing?
No. Listen, man, listen. All I do is be prepared to make my adjustments to get my victories.
All right, so you have other people do the scouting for you?
Yes.
Okay, all right. What's your big picture goal? Again, you're at 140. Are you staying at 140?
Yes. Right now, the thing for me is 140, and I'm having fun at 140. I make it easy. I can make weight tomorrow. I eat what I want, and I have fun.
Okay. What do you want to do? Big picture, like look at the next couple of years. What do you want to do?
Well, everybody know boxing is you take it fight at a time.
Right.
You know, but I definitely want to win a world title at 140, so I can be a 4-time world champion in 4 different weight classes at 24.
Right.
Well, 25 now.
All right, so Lamont Peterson then, or Danny Garcia? Danny Garcia is the Ring Magazine champ. You have your eyes on Garcia in the future somewhere?
Hey, I mean, it's boxing is a business. I got love for a lot of fighters in the game, but you know, boxing is a business. So you know, if it makes sense, you know, I'm with that money.
All right, but you'd like to be the world champion at 140 pounds then?
That's all I'm saying.
Okay. What do you think of Mayweather versus
What the fuck did he just say? Nothing. Now you see what I'm talking about? How you got Adrian Broner, Lamont Peterson, Danny Garcia, and then Lucas Matisse. And guess what? They're all Al Haymon fighters. I use a wrestling term, you know, talking about the NWO, where you didn't have Nash going against Hall, you know, and then every time, you know, they was put into a situation by the general manager or some type of match, it was always some shenanigans with it. Sometimes I think, when I watch boxing, I think about, like, one day, Al Haymon just coming like, that's Al Haymon! And Al Haymon coming down the aisle like to save Mayweather or somebody, like, ring the bell. And he grabbed the belts, you know, because it's really starting to look like wrestling to me. It's really starting to look like pro wrestling. Because if you listen to what Adrian Broner said, which was nothing, he said, why can't you say, yeah, I want to fight Danny Garcia. He got the title, but yet you would say anybody can't get it. The can man, anybody can't get it. A Mexican, an African, what else? A Canadian, a can. T-Street Controversy Live.